this weight. What number are we at?
Got 5.
I could also use thumb and fingers. You can see here my elbow is in my side with this hand. So now I have even more of a powerful tool to do compressions and strokes. And again, look how, just like the upper trap stroke, I'm pretty much facing her head. So with the supraspinatus, a lot of people will try to work on it like this because they feel like, well, I'm going this way, so I better stand this direction. But actually, if you stand more directly, you'll be able to get a lot more pressure, and the stroke will happen slower, but it will happen. If I want to just do a static compression, then I'm going to be perpendicular to the muscle, just like this, and I won't move. But if I angle just a little bit, I'll get a release as I shift forward. So that's supraspinatus. Infraspinatus, here on the back of the scapula. We can do basically strokes and compressions, starting off of the humerus and going in towards the spine. I won't show that one too much just because there's other things we need to cover, but basically, doing your strokes this direction. And a lot of times I will go over the scapula and then continue through the lower trapezius. So your lower trapezius goes to T12. So there's a line of tension going down your body right like this. And a lot of times this gets overstretched because our chest folds. So hooking in here and doing nice strokes back, hooking into lower trap, erectors, and just bring all this tension down towards the back will free your scapula more. Let's see, so rhomboids. Let me do this side. So again, we're doing a compression first. Getting hooked into the fibers. Number? 6, okay. And once I'm sunk in, I can angle out towards the scapula. And the rhomboids are going out from the spine like a Christmas tree pattern. So at a downward diagonal away from the center. Number? 6, good. And I go all the way over to the scapula. Hang out for a second. And I can basically do another stroke. So I started here and ended on the scapula. So when I move down the spine, my ending point is also going to move down on the scapula because I'm going at these diagonal lines. So the first is here. If I move down a vertebrae or two, I can do another stroke that goes at a diagonal. Number? 6. Feels like a trigger point right there. Hang out on the trigger point for a while, and then I can continue the stroke. Use both hands if I needed to. And I'm going to start moving a little faster, just to show you a couple of different speeds you can go. And you can also do a stroke along the vertebral border, which feels really good. I don't think I showed you guys, but I'd like to right now. Can also do some nice compressions with scapular retraction. I'm getting my fingers to compress the rhomboids, and I'm bringing the scapula over my fingers, kind of like I brought the skin over my thumbs in the skin roll. I can move her around a little bit. See, in other classes, they'll show you this technique where you bring the arm back and you do a lot of work underneath here. It's great work, but this area oftentimes is already overstretched from our body being so pulled forward. So I can't remember what class I was showed it to in, but I really like the way that this felt for my chest and for the stability of my back, you know, doing these compressions while opening up the chest, while bringing the scapula back. And I make sure I'm not using my arm. I try to keep my chest lifted, and I use the shifting back to really get in there. You can even get all the way up next to the superior angle. Just like that. So that's the rhomboids. Let me think, what else in this area? What else in this area? We did traps, supraspinatus, levator scapula, rhomboids, rector spinae. I think we're good here for now. Let me do a little bit of glute stuff.
We're probably going to see some fire cups on there.
Nice. Still stuck on?
Hell no. You're a little hard to dry like that.
Oh yeah. Nice. Okay, so with the glutes, some landmarks are the iliac crest, the sacrum, the greater trochanter, and the femur, where we have the gluteal tuberosity right here. So I like to use the greater trochanter here as like the central landmark. It's almost like the sun, where it has all the different rays emanating out from the center. So above, directly above the greater trochanter, we have the gluteus medius and minimus, which create a lot of pain referral in the lower back. And they're found really close to the iliac crest. So right up in this region, like buried treasure on a lot of clients. So I can use my elbow into my side and use my fingers here.
Sorry, guys.
Fingers work real well here. If they're really armored here, then you're going to want to use your elbow. Like that. Number?
Probably like a 6.5 or 7.
Okay. Gluteus medius and minimus are attaching just from the ilium to the greater trochanter, whereas the gluteus maximus is attaching the ilium, the femur, and the sacrum all together. So for the glute work, it's basically a double rainbow or several arcs of exploration. So greater trochanter here, doing a series of compressions along this line all the way to the iliac crest, and along the line just medial to it. And eventually you'll be going from the greater trochanter to the sacrum, which is the piriformis. So just a real quick fast forward, I do a compression here for a while, I come out, move up, do a compression here. You know, and depending on what I find, you know, she has a lot of stuff going on right there. She has a lot of stuff going on right there. Oh yeah. So, you know, this is all area to explore, but of course every client's going to have different stuff going on. So on Kara, I would work there specifically. I would work here specifically. And I just keep doing light circles, just try to feel the terrain. Piriformis feels a little tight right there. I could hang out. Could also do the pin and stretch technique. Leg goes in, muscle relaxes. I compress. Her leg comes out, and I stretch the muscle. Just like that. And then I can also do work on the piriformis area with my fingers.